As you know, yesterday, Czech government lost a non-confidence vote in the parliament. And do you think that the Czech government will be able to play its role at the G20 summit, being as a president of EU? And secondly, what would you say to Czech Prime Minister Topolanek, who today in the European Parliament described the American way of saving global economy and fiscal stimulus, very much supported by Britain, as a road to hell?
Those are two easy questions. In respect of the responsibilities of the Czech government, they are profound and serious responsibilities. And the good thing is that whatever the domestic politics in the Czech Republic, and I'll be in the Czech Republic tomorrow and Friday and Saturday for the meeting of EU foreign ministers, so I'll get a sense of this myself. Whatever the internal politics in the Czech Republic, the Czech government has been sent to the G20 summit by all 27 European governments with a very clear mandate. And I think it's very important that the Czech authorities do fulfill that mandate, because there's a very important European voice that needs to be heard at the London summit. I think it's a voice that is united and clear about the comprehensive nature of the reforms that are needed across all the themes that will dominate the summit. And so I think that the Czech role is going to be an important one, and it's one that needs to be fulfilled independent of the issues within the Czech Republic about domestic politics. I haven't read the speech of Prime Minister Topolanek. I don't think there is a British approach that is opposed to a French approach, that is opposed to a Dutch approach, that is opposed to a Spanish approach. What I see is leaders across the world, actually, but certainly across Europe, saying that this economic crisis has an important financial component, and financial regulation, above all to curb systemic risk, is going to be something that urgently needs to be undertaken. But I also see leaders saying that this is not simply a financial crisis, it's an economic crisis. And the renewal of demand, the stimulus of demand, which has been undertaken across Europe but also in America, is very, very important. And those two pillars of a London Summit agreement, financial regulation, macroeconomic coordination, need to be supported by commitments in respect of trade, commitments in respect of development, so that the poorest countries in the world don't pay the price of the economic crisis that they had no part in creating. And also a recognition that unless we have a low-carbon recovery, it won't be a sustainable recovery. And so that is not a road paved to hell, that is a road paved to recovery. And that's certainly what we're interested in.
If the program of the summit is not too ambitious, if you don't, not you, but the whole group of countries don't try to catch too many targets, to shoot too many targets.
It's a good challenge. To be comprehensive is a virtue, but it's also a vice. And so it's a good point. I think to have a summit which didn't talk about the needs of developing countries would be an insult, really. I think to have a summit which didn't recognize the importance of trade would just be not to live in the real world. To have a summit which ignored the fact that 6 or 9 months ago we had $147 a barrel oil, and that was causing significant economic consequence, I don't think that would be real either. So I think it's right to have a broader look than simply the financial regulation issues, because this is an economic crisis, not just a financial crisis. But notwithstanding that, I think that there won't be the same level of detail in each of the 5 areas of financial regulation, macro coordination, trade, development, and low carbon. There's not going to be the same level of detail in each of those 5 areas.